Hello chess lovers, Suren here, and in this video I want to share with you an interesting game which American chess grandmaster Fabiano Caruana played against the reigning world chess champion Magnus Carlsen at 2020 Clash Chess International Tournament. This is a game from round 47 and Caruana had white pieces opened up with e4, to which Carlsen responded with his usual Sicilian defense, c5, Nf3 Nc6, Bxc5 Nyezhmetdinov-Rossolimo attack is on the board, e5 white castled kingside. Of course, as you may have already guessed, you can't win a pawn by removing the defender. In the end of the day, black has queen d4 move. In our game after e5 we see castling kingside, bishop d6, c3 a6, bishop a4 b5, bishop c2. So like in the Kopek system, white is putting his bishop on c2 square and then can go for the d4 thrust. Knight ge7 d3, knight g6, bishop e3, black castled kingside, knight bd2, nothing special, both players are developing their pieces, and bishop b3. White wants to activate his light squared bishop, which was not doing much on c2. d6, bishop d5, queen e8, and this time white is bringing into life the d4 idea. E takes d4, c takes d4, rook b8. c4 is an alternative, but in the game Carlsen unpinned the knight, rook c1 and knight b4. A move which leads to a pawn sacrifice. Choosing a more solid c4 move is a better idea, but in the game we see knight b4, and later we will see that Carlsen will fail to get a compensation for the sacrificed pawn. E takes d5, bishop takes c5, so we see several exchanges, bishop b7, knight b3. The dust settled and we can see that white suddenly got a very powerful post pawn on d5 square. Queen d7, knight a5, bishop a8, knight c6, rook be8, knight d4. White is enjoying a very pleasant position. Queen d6, b4. This time Caruana is strengthening his rook on c5, rook e4, queen f3, rook e8, knight f5. Queen goes back on d7, g3. White is not hurrying. Gradually but steadily Caruana is making a progress and is making his position stronger. Knight e3, king g8, rook c1, knight f8, knight f5, knight h7, king g2, king h8, and finally we see this beautiful knight b8 move, relying on the fact that the rook on e8 is overloaded. If rook takes b8, then queen takes e4 can follow, and actually this is a better continuation than the one which we see in our game. In our game Carlsen moved back his queen on d8, and instead of capturing on a6 straight away, Caruana first repeated the moves, and only at this point he played knight takes a6. In return we see bishop takes d5 and knight c7 with a double attack. Bishop b7, knight takes e8, rook e7. An intermediate move with which black is first attacking white queen. But what else black could do? If a move like queen takes e8, then in this case knight d6 is winning. In the game we see rook e7, and at this point, instead of making a chicken move like rook c6, which is also winning, Caruana went for a queen sacrifice. Queen takes b7, rook takes b7, knight d6, knight f8, after which resignation followed because queen c8 is coming. But even if not knight f8, then at this point black's position is totally lost. If rook b8 covering the 8th rank, then you are leaving the pawn on f7 unprotected, or if a move like rook d7, then this time rook c8 is coming. Yes, threats are all over the board. In our game knight f8 was made, after which resignation followed because rook d8 is winning the knight. For example, queen f6, then rook takes f8, and with two knights and a rook against the queen, white can easily achieve a win. If king h7, this time rook c8 can follow, white can keep on harassing black king. That's why after making knight f8 move Carlsen resigned. A nice game by Fabiano Caruana, who relied on the fact that Carlsen made a strange looking pawn sacrifice. And then a chess puzzle for you, where the task is to find the winning move for white. It's white to move, and I will wait for your answer in the comment section. Thanks for watching. In the end, feel free to check out these suggestions as well. I will see you in my next video. Take care.